So my first question is like how your filmmaking journey started when you thought about becoming a filmmaker. Like if you could.
I think my filmmaker journey started from the time when I was in engineering. And yeah, I was in engineering and I was looking for escape. So that idea of escapism brought me into filmmaking because see, I was in Jabalpur and my friends were joining my friends were joining engineering college, and due to peer pressure, I also joined engineering college. And after that, what happened? After like 1 or 2 semesters, I realized that this is not going to happen. I can't become an engineer. Like, this is not connecting me. So then I joined a, a group of filmmakers, I mean, from the college only, who were also trying to make films. So I joined them, and we started making those, amateur sort of films. And that was so the join. I mean, coming to filmmaking was from there only, like uh, from those amateur filmmaking, uh, groups, and trying to escape from your studies of engineering. I started making films from there, and then I took it as a career after that.
Like which engineer? Computer science.
Mechanical engineering.
Okay, okay, great.
Mechanical engineering.
So after like, what was the like parents' reaction when you said you want to become a filmmaker? Like, were they supportive?
Uh, See, I come from a very conventional family. My father was in Indian Railways. He was in a he was an employee. So their idea of work is like mahine ke end mein you have to earn a salary. So it was little difficult to convince them, but they were sort of okay because I come from a my father used to act in those roadside theaters. In Bengali, they called it as Jatra. So he used to act in Jatra, and my uh, family is a little bit into literature as well. So you know, it was not that difficult for me to come into filmmaking, but yeah, that idea of like earning a monthly salary is still there. So I have to fight with them every day, every month that see, this is the kind of a life I want to live, and like the life of a freelancer. So they are still like it the life of a freelancer comes with a lot of insecurity. So that insecurity is still there in them, also in me. So yeah, that fight is still there, but they are okay with me pursuing filmmaking or whatever. So that was not a fight.
So like, have you gone to film school or like you started working as a filmmaker after your
Uh,
engineering?
After my engineering, yeah, I went to a film school. This film school is in Rohtak. It's a very new film school. It's called State Institute of Film and Television. It's in Rohtak. It's under like Supwa University. Uh, yeah, I studied from there, but I am not a pass out from the institute. So I spent like 6 years there, and then I realized that I this institute is consuming me a lot. So also because of COVID and other reasons, I was very much, I realized that my learning from the institute has, finished. So I kind of dropped out. Though I still have the chance to go back and make my final film, but still I'm considering whether I should go back or not. Yeah,
Let's talk about your film now, like Mic Drop.
yeah.
So how the idea came, because there are films like Gully Boy, 8 Mile. So why do you want to tell a story about a rapper or documentary?
Yeah, it's a documentary. See, the idea, it was not an idea. I mean, I never thought of making this film. I was working on something else. And that time I saw a post of PSBT where they were looking for pitches for document program. So document is a program where, you pitch your idea of documentaries. And if your idea clicks with them and they mentor you, and by the end of the program, they give grant to few of the participating filmmakers. So I saw their post, and then I realized I should pitch something there. And I vividly remember that I worked with this rapper on a music video, and I found it very interesting. I found him very interesting, and that time this idea came to my mind that I should explore. I explore this guy? So I just wrote a paragraph and submitted the form. And I did not call him. I did not ask him about anything. I just wrote something, and I was like, "कि देखते हैं. If this clicks, then I'll figure out." Then after some days, I got a call from PSBT, and they said that you are shortlisted for the interview round. So that time I realized that I have to, like right now, I have to call this guy and ask him about his story. So when I called him, I realized that there is more to the story than what I have written. So धीरे धीरे I started exploring this guy, and yeah, then I was selected for the mentoring round. And then during the mentoring also, you don't know whether you will be getting the grant or not. So, but at the same time, the story was evolving. So as the story was evolving, so I was looking for a DOP there in Jabalpur, because we were very clear during the mentoring. We were very clear that this will be an observational documentary. It cannot be like a sit down interview sort of a thing. And I was also not in the favor of making a film which has interviews and like that old style of making documentaries. So yeah, so I was looking for a DOP, and then a friend of mine told me about Yash Dubey is the DOP of this film. He told me about Yash Dubey, and he was in the town for a different reason. He was there for his wedding. So and yeah, so he was there for his wedding, and he said that yeah, I'm down for it. And then he started shooting few things. I was, from Bombay only. I used to call him and then give him instructions that tuja ye kar. And so he shot for like 4 or 5 days, and then we used that footage to pitch it to PSBT for a last pitch. And fortunately, we got the grant, and then I went back to my hometown Jabalpur, and then we started shooting this film. And the idea was to chase a character arc of this rapper, right? So the backbone of the film was that he will shoot his music video, he will make his music, he will shoot that music video, and we will capture him, his journey. And while he's doing that, we will explore the character. And we were just chasing one character arc. And if you have seen the film, then you must have seen that the last scene is where he's celebrating his birthday, and then I went there thinking that that will be a good moment to end the film. I did not know that this is gonna be that ending what you have seen. So so we were just chasing one character arc, and we like shot for like 4 months. I mean 45 days across 4 months. Yeah, so that is how the idea germinated, and PSBT supported it throughout.
Okay. I mean, there was a question like the ending is not hopeful. It's really sad.
Yeah,
Like it's quite real as well.
yeah.
So okay, like it was like were there any other scene as well which were improvised? Like you didn't think about that scene and they were there.
See, there are many. Like as this was an observational documentary, we had to understand the characters we are dealing with, and then we had to place our camera like that. Like the scenes where he's interacting with his father, we knew that this guy will have a conversation with his father only when they are eating lunch or dinner, right? This is the only point where they talk, right? Other than that, they don't meet, they don't talk. So this was very interesting. This was very interesting part. And his father, obviously, like if you are shooting with a rapper was easy because he has face camera, but shooting with a father was not easy. So what we did is we kept the camera in his room. You must have seen the space. we have kept the camera in the room, and we said that the camera is just lying there. We are, the just camera is lying. You guys eat. We'll shoot after that. So, but at the same time, we were rolling the camera. So those conversations with his father were real conversation, and those conversations were captured while he did not know that he's being captured, right? And after the edit of the film, we showed the footage to the father. So likewise, we had to do a lot of jugaad in making, in interacting with different characters. So everything, like in documentary filmmaking, especially when you are making an observational film, a lot of things happen randomly. Like for example, in the first scene of the film, you must have seen that he's performing, and just after that, he's talking to the organizer on the terrace. So we went there thinking that he will just have a conversation with him and he'll get the money, but the outcome of that scene, right? So that was, everything is like you're just capturing the life, and life is unfolding in front of you. This is such a, I mean, documentary is such a blessing in that way.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. And not only his father, like there's a scene where his whole family is watching his video. So
Yeah.
like, how did you shoot that as well?
Uh, uh, I think it was very easy. Like he, that is like after whenever he releases his track on YouTube, he screens the film in front of the whole family. So it was just a coverage shooting, and it was a 3.5 minute track. We just we rolled for the 3.5 minute, and in the film that sequence is like 30 seconds. So we were very clear that we'll take the audio of the full recording. We'll take the audio of the whole scene, and then we'll cut into the characters in the scene. So that was easy because they were engrossed in watching the music video, and it was easy to operate the camera in front of them. So it was not that difficult.
First of all, it doesn't feel like a documentary because it feels like a film only. Because we are following a character and changes the character again. So that's an exception thing. So were there any major difficulties while shooting the film, and how many days like did you shoot? And how big was the crew as well?
Uh, Crew was very minimum. I would say I was there as director. I was also recording the location sound. My DOP Yash was also there, and I think we two were there. And in the stage of production, we two were there, and then we shot it, and we edited that film later on. So yeah. And major difficulties, there were no major difficulties because Jabalpur is a town where I mean, people shot a lot. I mean, a very, people don't shoot films there, right? If they're shooting films there, then these are very, uh, I mean, they don't attract eyeballs. Also, especially in the time of, especially in the time of reels and people making reels everywhere, it was not that difficult to shoot the film in open areas. So I don't think out of Jabalpur I could have made this film, but yeah, in Jabalpur it was not difficult.
So and the all of the songs were his songs or
Yeah,
someone else?
yeah,
Okay.
it's songs.
And what was the post production like? And how many days it took to complete the post production, like editing, designing, and grading as well?
I think post production took us like 6 months. Uh, Edit took us 3.5, 4 months, and on top of that, like 2 extra months. Because I'll tell you one more thing: the first cut of the film was 35 minutes. The 35 minutes cut is submitted to PSBT, and then we submitted the film to few of the festivals to just understand what is the response from the festivals. And all the film festivals we submitted, the 35-minute cut was rejected. And later on, we came to know that 35-minute cut, one of the curator told me that the 35-minute cut is a very bad length for programming, and for a short film to qualify in a festival and to get into that schedule, it should be inside the 30-minute bracket. It should be ideally like 22 minutes, but it should 100% should be under the 30 minutes bracket. So yeah, I had to cut the film again. Then the film you have watched is of 27 minutes. So that film traveled to festivals. And I think Namrata Joshi was right. She told us that this is the thing.
So were there any things which were rejected by PSBT only?
No, no, I think PSBT is very chill. PSBT is very chill. They're open to anything, especially in a time where there are so many censorship going on in everywhere. PSBT, did not hindered anything. They were very much chill with everything, and they were open for any kind of discussions also. Like for example, I tell you, you were talking about the hindrance, right? I forgot to mention this, that during the during the edit of the film, the money they gave us got exhausted, and I was desperately looking for a co-producer. And I told PSBT that I want to onboard a co-producer because otherwise I won't be able to finish the film. So unfortunately, I don't know how I met Harsh and Aditya. They are my co-producers. They run a company called Uncommon Buddha Films, and they are also from Jabalpur. And you won't believe they have produced films like Nasir, Rapture, and these films. So even I was also not I could not believe that. Uh, I met them. I told them about my idea. I gave them the rough cut, and they found interest in that, and they said that we'll pitch in money and we'll help you in the festival rounds. So from their help, we could finish the film, and thanks to PSBT for allowing a co-producer in my film.
So how much time it took to complete the film, like from the pitching part to complete?
I think more than a year, because the mentoring was only like 4 months, and then we shot the film, we edited the film. Yeah, more than 1 year.
So what was the reaction? It was premiered in Dharamshala, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Did
what
you watch
was
the
the
film in
reaction?
Dharamshala? You missed it.
No, no, like I missed it. There was a lot of queue, and I wasn't. I cannot watch a film like consecutively, one, two, three.
Yeah,
So it's quite. So what was the reaction there? Were you there as well?
yeah, yeah. I was there. I was there. It was. I mean, surreal experience, man. I mean, it was houseful, and people were queuing outside the hall, and they waited for like 10-15 minutes extra to get into the hall and watch the film. And I mean, this is the first time. I mean, as a filmmaker, this is your dream, right? Your film is being watched by a houseful audience. So it was overwhelming experience. Yeah.
So currently it will be shown anywhere. So,
Currently, I mean, we are screening the film in Smita Patil International Film Festival. This happens in Pune, and the screening is on 4th of January. And I mean, NFAI, they screen in NFAI. I don't know about the future screening, but we are looking for offline spaces where we can screen the film.
so you are a filmmaker, you have gone to film school, so there might be some films that your favorite films. Like there are any recommendation of films and filmmakers? Like
Uh,
it's a list. You can give me any film and filmmakers, like any number of films and filmmakers.
any number of films. I have to recollect all the films, but I would say I really love the films of Krzysztof Kieslowski, and I would say all the films by Krzysztof Kieslowski should be watched. And from his early days of documentary filmmaking to his color trilogy days, I mean, his documentary short films, like if you watch I Am a Soldier, if you watch Talking Heads, these are like a revolution. These films like open your mind. So Krzysztof Kieslowski, one filmmaker who you should definitely watch. And then there's the Calcutta trilogy by Satyajit Ray, also Mrinal Sen. Um, recently, I mean, in contemporary times, I would say Hirozaku Koreede. I love his films, and I also like the slow cinema ones like Lav Diaz and Belatar. I love their films because of the sheer aesthetics of the image making, and also in India, the contemporary filmmaker I like is Devashish Makija. I love his films, man, and I think he has he can only tell a story of a tribal family in the realm of uh, commercial filmmaking. So he's one of my favorites, and I mean most of the films you watch in movie, like all those films, you should definitely watch. Movie exclusive and movie premiere films. These are definitely you should watch. Yeah, I have to recall more films, man. Uh,
Any Indian documentary films or filmmakers?
any Indian documentary? I recently watched the film of King Shuk Sujan. The name of the film is Marching in the Dark, and I think you should definitely watch it. It was screened in Dharamshala. I think you have missed it, but you should definitely look for that film because it tells the story of the women whose husbands were farmers and they committed suicide, and how these women, uh, you know, uh, take that grief and recover from that grief. It's a very soothing, it's a very tender film, and it's a very strong film as well. You should definitely watch it. It's one of my favorites from 2024, and all that deeds. Uh, then I also like that film, An Insignificant Man. These films also. Payal Kapadia's A Night of Knowing Nothing. It's a very experimental documentary. Yeah.
So,
How?
are you current any other recommendation?
Yeah, yeah. India Untouched. It's on YouTube. You should watch it. Should definitely watch.
So, like, are you doing any other works right now? Writing something or shooting something?
Right now, I am writing a fiction feature, uh, and also like for bread and butter, I'm working on some commercial documentaries. That's
So, so my last question is, like, you are quite young. I know I ask this question to every filmmaker. Like, any advice? If somebody wants to become a filmmaker, like, what advice would you like to give them?
what advice I should give. I don't know, man. I mean, I would say, I mean, you should be honest with the story. Like, if you think that the story connects you, and you are the only person who can tell the story, and I mean, you can only tell the story, then I think you should make this film. I don't know what suggestion I should give to the budding filmmakers, but yeah, this is what I feel like. I mean, you should be honest with the film. Now make whatever you want to make. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't have any advices.